Coffee and cold drinks are a staple for my family. That's why it seemed normal when we went to a Starbucks drive-thru on a hot summer day in late August of 2021. I got my favorite s'mores frappuccino, and my sister got her dairy-free almond milk latte. Something that we've done so many times before. Something that seemed normal to us. Except this time, it wasn't normal. You see, my sister is severely allergic to dairy. How much? One small drop of it would cause a long diary entry of potential disaster. And that is exactly what happened. Somewhere, somehow, someone made a mistake. And within 10 minutes, my sister went blue in the face, got anaphylactic, and passed out. Panic-stricken, my dad rushed her to the hospital without even waiting for the ambulance. How critical was she? So much so that the ER nurse took one look at her and didn't even check her in. They rushed her straight to a room filled with wires and needles, with the air heavy with dread and fear. Because that is what anaphylaxis is. It's when your body tries to kill itself from the inside out by squeezing your throat shut. And these are what allergies are. Because you see, my sister has a bad gene. A small anomaly, but a significant one nonetheless. Doctors know what it is. If only there was a way to fix it. If only there was a way to change and take away that fear and that dread. If only there was a way to alter her genetic makeup. If only. The most powerful and poignant words in the English language. But in today's world, with recent advances in science and technology, that previous science fiction could actually be a reality with gene editing technology, because we then are able to change these things about ourselves. But what is this gene editing? We know our genes, they're a famous double helix, our DNA. Humans have approximately 30,000 of them from each parent. And these are what make us unique as a species, but also as an individual person. And gene editing is simply the process when a scientist or a doctor alters, edits, or deletes these genes. This can do anything and everything from cure diseases like multiple sclerosis to sickle cell anemia. But it can also come with some ethical and moral challenges that we might have to consider. So today, let's look at the entirety of what this new and budding technology can do. To start, let's use an example. Today, let's take Down syndrome. For context, humans have 23 pairs of chromosomes, and Down syndrome occurs when there's an extra copy of the 21st chromosome, hence the official name, trisomy 21. Down syndrome is the most common form of intellectual disability in the United States, occurring in 1 in every 700 births, thereby affecting over 400,000 people in just the United States alone. Doctors have been trying to remove this extra chromosome for decades with no result, and therefore there has been no medication or cure for this disease. All we can do is provide different forms of therapy, from speech to occupational therapy, to be able to help these individuals with their daily lives. And that is where gene editing comes in. You see, this technology can then go into the body and do either one of two things. It can either, one, remove the presence of this 21st chromosome altogether, or it can just render it moot, so that it does not impact the individual anymore. And this is 10 times more than anyone has ever imagined, because this is curing this disease at its source, at its center. And additionally, because this technology has been proven to be more curative rather than preventative, governments and hospitals have been pouring hundreds of millions of dollars in funding so that hopefully in the near future, we will be able to multiply all of the good work that this technology has done so far. And while it might have the price tag of a couple $100,000, the growth of an expansion of this new idea will hopefully lower it so that more people around the world will have access to this life-changing technology. But it's not just about the money. It's about giving life where there was none before, and it's about giving hope where there was little. Gene editing has made the tomorrow the today. It's made the impossible very much possible. So what can I do to be a part of it? Where do I sign up, right? But to go back to my example, what if a person with Down syndrome is happy with their current life? What if there was nothing that they would change about it? For example, 99% of people with Down syndrome are happy with their current lives, and actually 86% believe that they can make friends and acquaintances better because of their so-called disease. It is one thing to change something that is broken, but it is entirely another to change something that doesn't want to be changed. Therefore, by promoting this technology, we are then marginalizing and stigmatizing these individuals, saying that their lives are not lives worth living, when that is entirely not the case. And that is why we must consider the individuality and autonomy of these people, because personal agency is paramount. A sister concern: will genetic manipulation subsume human will? Without trivializing any illness, let's look at the so-called tragic case of Steph Curry. Yes, Wardwell Stephen Curry, the four-time NBA champion of the Golden State Warriors. His biggest misfortune? He is short. At 6'2", the average NBA player is 6'7". And so growing up, Steph was shot on over and over and over again. So what did the poor guy do? He started shooting from outside the arc, thereby changing the arc of the entire game's history. The blind Keller, the deaf Beethoven, the mentally ill Van Gogh, all genetic illnesses. All genetic illnesses that can be cured today. But by doing so, will that rob humanity of the future Kellers and Beethovens and Van Goghs? Humans aren't meant to be perfect, and this technology brings us closer to that perfection, which may have its costs. For example, I, at 5'2", am the shortest swimmer on my swim team. And what if I wanted an albatross-sized limbs to be able to go faster? Because right now, it takes me, say, 67 strokes to complete the 100-meter butterfly. But if I was, say, 5'4", then maybe it would only take me like 55. The question writes itself. Should I? Or shouldn't I say, shouldn't I? Additionally, in 2018, scientist He Jiankhu lab created two twin girls in a petri dish, Nana and Lulu. Unfortunately, these two girls did not survive past a few weeks. But in the period that they were alive, what were they? Were they a human? Were they a cyborg? Were they she's? Or was it an it? Are we creating separate class of people, like organic versus non-organic food? Or is the movie Blade Runner now a prologue to our history? The next time this Frankensteinian process occurs, these girls will live longer and then longer after that. And so they will have no families, no support systems, no parents, no home. But then, in the case that families and parents do want these babies, what is then stopping them from creating the designer baby of their dreams? What is stopping them from choosing the academic genes, the beauty genes, the smart genes? Anything that they want, they can pick. So imagine this then in a baby-making ad. Andover, Harvard, computer science and math Olympiad, 6'4", never balding, perfect teeth, thinks like Einstein, shoots like Jordan, smiles like Cruz. If this does not sound like a ghoulish reverse of the eugenics monstrosity, then I don't know what is. Because biologists say that the reason for our species' survival is because of our genetic diversity. And so if we all looked and acted and talked the same and had the same personalities, then one disease, like COVID per se, would wipe every single one of us out. Gene editing has already had a prominent influence on our lives today, dating all the way back to Dolly the sheep in the 1990s. But with the recent advances in technology and all that we have learned, that has drastically changed. Because in the past, this is the kind of technology that people have longed for their parents and for their children, because this is the kind of technology that saves lives. I know, because I've seen it. But some people also believe that such perfection has its costs, that we do not know the full scope and impact of consequences of this gene editing technology. But we are learning every day. For right or for wrong, for good or for bad, Pandora's box is now wide open. And like with any other great feat in history, there will be positives and there will be negatives. There will be benefits and hindrances. But like with all of those other great feats, I know that we will be able to overcome those obstacles and let the good prevail. Because that is how society progresses. 2 steps forward and then 1 step back. We just have to buckle up and get ready for the ride. It is going to be a brave new world. Thank you.